Hey guys, Nate here. Gonna do another what sold. Crazy, some small ones, and then a very unexpected one. We'll get to that here in a second. I'll see you in just a little bit, guys. Alright guys, so let's get into this. Like I said earlier, there's gonna be a surprise here. We went to an estate sale and we found some pretty good stuff. We found some really good items. Of course, with all estate sales, prices on certain things are more than what you want to pay. But some of the things we found were crazy. But we'll get to that video another day. But I say that in that one of the items we bought Saturday morning already sold. It was way more money than I would even have imagined that it would. But we will get to that here in a little bit. First, I need to just swing you around here real quick. Let me show you. This is one my mom sold in Iowa. One of those vintage, supposed to look like wood. It's not real wood, but yeah, cassette holders. Had it for a while. She got it for free, so she, sold it for $4.50 so we could make room not only for us here but her also in Iowa. She's got quite a bit there, so anything to also help her get decluttered so she can get more stuff in. I'm not going to show you every one, but I've talked a little bit about this before. We got these albums out of a school library. They were just going to throw them, so I decided I would just take them. And not knowing, I've sold so many of these, and they're different. I mean, they're jazz music, folk music. There's plays. There's one just sold was Home Economics on vinyl. American Cancer Society. There's just there's a bunch of topics. It was kind of fun to go through, see what it was. There's even one for like teen pregnancy and like driver's ed. I mean, it's just random stuff. But I'm be 50 in May, and I remember some of that stuff they played on album growing up. So anyway, this was one of them. Several of them are going in a lot to one person. They picked up the Shakespeare plays, the American Cancer Society. They've got these popular science publishing records, and then they've got an Al Jolson collection, Decker Records, which is kind of cool. I almost kept that for myself, but I have a double album of Al Jolson already, so I didn't want to and didn't need any more. So anyway, those albums, I still got a ton left, and I'm sure we will continue to sell them, especially now that I've got them lowered down to like $2 or so. They're paying the shipping. I didn't pay anything for them, so even if after fees and everything I'm coming out with like 70-80 cents, I will take it right now because I just need to get them out. Just a second, let me grab this. This is my son's. These are another thing that he picked up a whole bunch of them, old Lego manuals and advertisements, brochures, and he sold quite a few of those. He had some Harry Potter ones. I think he sold for $10 a piece. These two, the Wild Wild West, they're the Wild West Ninja insectoids. This was from '98. So maybe they paid $3 for those. Let's see what else we got here. Scrub tops selling again like hotcakes. We had some patriotic ones that went on here. People getting ready for the 4th of July already. We had hockey shirts. I picked these up. There was a whole table of them. The Sabres. There was also some Boston Celtics, really nice sports shirts. And he only wanted like $2 for all of them, or not for all of them, a piece. I grabbed a whole bunch of them. We've more then made our money back on that sale. So I put this on sale for $3 just to get it moving. Like I said, if you've tuned into the last few, we've been running these sales, trying to get things clearanced out. You know, now that we know better what to pick, we're more cautious. You know, instead of just setting on a bunch of stuff, we're trying to get that out so we can use that money to buy stuff that will sell with a better profit. So a lot of this stuff is lower end. All right, guys, my camera kept going out. I'm not sure why. So we got the John Cena one. I don't know if you caught that. We sold several of those. We sold it for $20. The yellow and blue one. So yeah, so we made out like bandits off of that sale, especially when we paid 25 cents a piece. We talked about the Matchbox Super Track, which I thought would go a lot better, but I've had it for over a year, and it was just time to say goodbye. I paid $1. I sold it for $3 on the 70% off sale. Like I said, I need space, so that's why this one went so cheap. Man, it's gonna make somebody, a collector, or hopefully a kid, really, really happy. We talked about the puzzles, lotting up puzzles. We lotted up 4 puzzles. They went for $15. We pay 50 cents to $1 a piece for them, so you know we were into them for $2 to $4, but we still sold them for 15. Plus they paid shipping. And we were talking about the Echo shoes. Nice Echo dress shoes. We went back and forth on these, and we ran into them for $4, and we came to an agreement with somebody for $26.70. And we haven't had them for that long, so that's a good profit right there. We always sell, seems like we sell quick Echo dress shoes. They don't take very long to get off the shelves. So, of course, the treads are always really nice. Excuse me. 2 hours of sleep from last night is catching up to me, guys. So, anyway, yeah, Echo dress shoes, and some of the golf shoes are looking really nice too. Let me see where we're at. Oh, we had a Super Band tie. I'd had it for a while. I paid next to nothing for it. I ran it on an auction. Anyway, for $1.99. But yeah, you know, sometimes, you know, I saw it had like 12 watchers on it. Thought, I'll throw it up on auction. It didn't work out this time as well. Now, there were some other things that worked out really well. Some other things I did that with that actually I got pretty decent amount for. Whew, sorry. These commemorative plates, these are the bicentennial ones. There's sets of 4. We paid like $2 for them. I've been clearancing them out for $7.50 plus shipping. So that's another good space that I need right there. We sold a Browning pullover. It went for about $4 again on the sale. Really nice polo. So somebody's getting a good jacket. We also, this vintage Ralph Lauren polo. Didn't do as well as I thought it would. We picked it up for like 50 or 75 cents. Sold it for $2 on the sale again. We've had it for a while. I know it seems like, why are you doing this? Well, like I said, guys, you got to remember, this is us clearancing stuff out. But the Echoes weren't clearanced out. They went for 26. The puzzles were 15. We had the vintage Kindles. These I got paid $1 for both of them. We got 5 out of them. I don't know a whole lot about these. It does say the bodies say 1968 on it. So like I said, I don't know much about the dog collecting world. This one's interesting. Just picked this one up. It was one of those MacBook Airs that you plug into a MacBook. Put it up, it went quick. It's used, but it sold within a day, and we got 20 bucks for it. We paid, I think, $1. And I was trying to get rid of old electronics. And I thought to myself, well, somebody out there is probably wanting an external DVD drive. So, and I was correct. Next is a pair of sandals, which is coming up on the season here, guys. We have these Olakai. Yeah, Olakai sandals. If you see these, look at that, the little hook. These are always good sandals. These are the kids ones. They went for $9.60. We paid $1, but we usually pay like $2 or so around there for the adult ones, and we get a steady $20, $22 off of each pair. So they're always, be on the lookout for Olakai. Sold a vintage United Methodist hymnal. Paid 50 cents for it and got $10 for it. It's kind of interesting what people are purchasing or collecting. I did not think that hymnals would ever be a thing, but there's a lot of them out there. So I mean, if it starts to be a big thing, there's a lot to go find. So we have a vintage Flintstones. Sorry, like I said, keep disappearing. Vintage Flintstones pillowcase. You see that there. And then Fred's on the other side. This was in a lot of stuff. We're probably in 50 cents or so. We ended up getting $3.60 out of it. It's another one we've had for a while. Some of the other sheets that came with it have already sold. And then this vintage keychain. We were at a thrift store and a guy was just filling bags full of all these old keychains, and they were selling them for like $1 for the whole bag. So we bought, I don't know, 5, 6 bags full of them and started going through. And we've already sold 3 others for between $10 to $15, and this one was the same, $15 for that. Needs a new battery in it to make the sounds, but it's got like nuclear bomb, death ray, machine gun, laser beam, so all that. Yeah, these are one of those kitschy little keychains from back in the 80s. So don't sleep on old keychains. We have found that out firsthand. Okay, guys, so the big one. Let me grab it. My wife found these. They had $5 on them, and he said, "Oh, everything's half off today at the estate sale." She said, I just got a feeling, and she looked them up, and then she went back and got the other set. These are called, was it Mail? Oh, Martha by Mail. This was Martha Stewart, I think, before she became who she is, or it's a, I'm not sure why. They're brass, and they're cookie cutters. I mean, you can kind of see it there. But we bought 2 sets of them. The other set is like around $100, and it's insects, and that's the selling price. This one we just sold $150 for a set of cookie cutters. It was mind blowing. So, you know, when you do this, you gotta never give up on stuff, or never just put it in your mind that it's not, because I walked by those, and you know, I just did assume there for a while that, you know, you're not getting much unless it's extremely vintage, and then you're not getting a whole lot. But something in her gut told her, look those up. She looked them up, and for $5 for the both of them, we've already, you know, sold the first one for $150, and then the other one's on there for $100. With, I'm guessing, with spring around the corner, it'll probably go. So yeah, you never know what is going to sell. That's the beauty. That's why I love doing this, especially on eBay, because you never know what people are looking for. And not only that, then what they're willing to pay for it is the other crazy thing. Okay, guys, that was kind of a quick one. I got to get this stuff boxed up. I got to get back to school tomorrow. I got to get my lesson plans finished for history class. We are into the 100 Years War. We just got done talking about Joan of Arc, so we're going to get into the 100 Years War a little bit more. So if you're a history nut, you'll know what I'm talking about. If not, hopefully you know who Joan of Arc is. So there's that. So okay, guys. So that's it for me here in the warehouse, or small warehouse. It's nostalgic. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to email us at getnostalgicnow@gmail.com. You can check out our eBay store. We also are on Poshmark. Yeah, you can get a hold of us that way, guys. So, all right, guys. Well, until again, sorry. All right, guys. Well, until we meet again. Bye.